Hey, brothers and sisters, did you know that the Federal Reserve just cemented XRP, XLM, and HBAR? Well, you're going to find out soon, my friends. I'm here with my friend Maximus from Maximus Crypto, always bringing the alpha, a lot of stuff that we're getting from Smoke, man, and we've got more for you here. And we just really appreciate you being with us. Please smash and like that button, show us some love, show them some love, please, please, please. And all right, Max, what do you got for us, bud? Let's give him the alpha.
Yeah, it is straight alpha. It's the most of the credit obviously goes to Smoke. And again, you guys, ask why you always cite Smoke. Well, again, I probably did over a year's worth by myself, and then the videos were probably like an hour and a half. He just makes it so much easier.
If managing your crypto feels like solving a puzzle, it's time to switch to Decent Wallet. It's just a few taps, you can manage, track, and secure your crypto with unmatched ease. And here's the best part. Grab your Decent Wallet at a discounted price by using the referral link below. Don't miss out on making your crypto experience smoother and more secure.
So at the end of the day, as the saying goes, work smarter, not harder, right? But it is hard work at the same time. So give Smoke a follow. I will give him a plug because sometimes I feel as though it's a good thing to do. You can be followed at SMQKE DQG on X. All right, so here it is. Federal Reserve officially embraces BFT, cementing XRP, XLM, and HBAR's role in secure payments. Now, some of you guys don't know what BFT is. It means Byzantine fault tolerant, right? So Federal Reserve officially acknowledged the efficiency and scalability of Byzantine fault tolerant consensus models in a research paper discussing secure payment system model. Now, I'm going to come back for a second. Some people are going to point out, well, they just acknowledged that. Well, they didn't say that they're going to use XRP and so on. Okay, well, think about this. Do you really think XRP would be at the price it's at now if they just officially came out and said that? But if anything, we do research, connect some key things, and we have connected things like Stellar XLM with Tenemos, and we know about Tenemos and FedNow. If you haven't seen that video, again, you will see a card about that. But let's jump back into this and why it matters to you. As you also will see here, this is a significant endorsement as BFT models, specifically the Byzantine agreement-based mechanisms, provide the highest level of security and scalability for distributed networks. At the end of the day, is it XRP, XLM, and HBAR? Yes. They all utilize, everybody, Byzantine fault tolerance variations as confirmed by the documents below. But let's face it, there's going to be people that won't even bother to watch this video and they just go straight to the comments and give their own 2 cents, and that's okay. Thank you so much, even for the haters, for helping us scale up our channels. We do appreciate you. The Federal Reserve's research reveals that this model is superior to other consensus mechanisms like proof of work or proof of stake, making it the most, and I'll repeat that, most viable choice for a high-speed, secure financial transactions. This recognition is crucial because not all cryptocurrencies use Byzantine fault tolerance. That is true. That is definitely true. Look it up. Yet the Federal Reserve has specifically studied and validated its advantages. I would hope so. What are they getting paid for? So given that XRP and XLM and even Hedera HBAR are also ISO 222 compliant, this does align them with international financial messaging standards. It makes perfect sense for the largest central bank to integrate with the most scalable, secure, and compliant digital assets. This research serves as a direct confirmation, not speculation, confirmation to all the people in the back row that these assets are positioned as the top choices for future Federal Reserve payment services. Boil it, mash it, stick that sucker in a stew, because when you see it, look at this. Here's the visual. Sometimes seeing is believing. Fed researchers unveil more secure payment system model. Byzantine fault tolerant systems can process 110,000 transactions per second. Some of you guys are going to say, well, XRP only does 1,500 TPS and Stellar don't do that much. Guess what? The Bank for International Settlements, that plug to the M10 means over 1 million TPS. And you can look it up, or I can provide you an end screen thumbnail, to say the least. All right. A little bit more about this and why it matters to you. Okay. So listen to this for a second as we get further into it. There's another key thing I want to share here. we have this again from Smoke. And Smoke mentions this specifically. He always brings the receipts. Does the Federal Reserve cite anything that we're talking about? Yes. Finance and Economics Discussion Series, straight from federalreserve.gov. As you see here, Herculeus, Byzantine fault-tolerant database systems with potential for modern payment systems. And, of course, like I said, 2025. Interesting. Okay? So all this is, of course, interesting. All right? As we also get into the next part of this and why it matters to you, there you go. I think that's, well, blow it up just a little bit bigger. Federated Byzantine Agreement, Ripple and Stellar. Ripple and Stellar. Jeez. Did it say Ripple and Stellar? Oh, I didn't stick around. I didn't watch the whole outline. Well, that's your fault. Okay. Ripple and Stellar use a federated voting process that is variant of the Byzantine fault tolerance consensus model. My goodness, this is why we do these deep dives with you guys. Hopefully you appreciate it. As we get to the next part, what about the whole thing of Hedera? We did mention Hedera. Well, here's Hedera. Let's pull this up. Blockchain versus Hashgraph. As we know, Hedera is a distributed ledger technology. It is the Hashgraph consensus protocol. It is the gossip protocol. Some of you guys may be gossiping with your girlfriends and whatnot, and maybe your girlfriends are like, hey, you listen to Maximus Crypto? He was talking about my Ripple XRP. I'm going to listen. All right. So anyway, as we get more into this, we see here a synchronous Byzantine fault-tolerant highest level security for distributed ledger networks or distributed networks, as you see right here. Yes, right here. That is pretty important. And, by the way, they don't require much electricity. Hence why Hedera and Algorand are considered, what, the most greenest of the green? I don't know. That's up to debate, but whatever the case be, that's what I believe. How about this? You also see cryptocurrency, consensus service, and of course, Hashgraph consensus, Hedera mainnet. You kind of get the idea of how that all comes together. Again, bring in the receipts, bring in the research, boil it, mash it, stick it in a stew, because at the end of the day, this is why, the Federal Reserve's research reveals what this model is and why it is superior to other consensus mechanisms. I think this is all important because given the XRP XLM HBAR, they're all ISO 222 compliant. It makes perfect sense for the largest central bank to integrate with the most scalable, secure, and compliant digital assets. Who is that bank? Think about it. The BIS, the Bank for International Settlements. So with that said, we're going to kick it over to Jesse. Your thoughts in regards to all the findings. Mr. Jesse of Apex Crypto Consulting, not financial advice, but nothing but alpha and research. Take it away.
Yeah, I try, brother. I try to bring the alpha. I mean, it's always the same thing, man. You're seeing the Federal Reserve documents showing that the Interledger Protocol and XRP and XLM are absolutely crucial, right? It's saying that the Interledger Protocol itself is crucial, which is what they're built on. And now we're seeing the Byzantine fault tolerance, which is the consensus again, being crucial for central banks. And again, which blockchains are built on that? You've got XRP, XLM, HBAR. HBAR is a huge partner of Quant. I mean, it's never ending. It's just it's all there. You can only ignore it to a certain point, right? Like, I mean, to not see what's going on, you either gotta not do any research at all or just stick your head in the sand real bad, because the connections to the central banks and it's just never ending. And Quant and Ripple are they're sitting on some of the same organizations and advisory boards, and you've got the pound in the UK there, and it's all there because with the what is it called? Sorry, the Byzantine fault tolerance. David Schwartz was explaining that there's no what's the word I'm looking for? Sorry, no incentive, right? He said no incentive is the best incentive. You can't have central bank digital currencies running on proof of stake or proof of work, where you got a bunch of different guys controlling the consensus. You can't have that incentive. The best incentive is no incentive. That's the only way you get full decentralization in general. So David Schwartz explained that in one of his rants there. But yeah, the Byzantine fault tolerance, that's the chosen one. That's the quickest, cheapest, most trusted and secure. Like, again, security. Central banks cannot, like Gilbert Verdine always said, central banks cannot. They need what's the word I was looking for here? Sorry. These are critical national infrastructure. You can't have anything go wrong with national critical infrastructure. The country will stop, right? Like, everything's connected to the central banks, because the central bank is the main hub, and then through their RTGS system, all of the commercial banks are all connected to it, including credit unions, and that's your whole money flow. That's your whole financial system for the country. And so the central banks increases the interest rates, all the commercial banks have to follow, and if they lower the interest rates, they have to do the same thing. They control the money supply as well. So that's why people that know what's going on are so opposed to the central banks, because they control the economy of a country. And so their payment system cannot, you can't have anything go wrong there. And also central bankers are all about, they want people to trust them. It's all about the general public trusting the central banking system, which is a complete Ponzi scheme, right? I mean, they print money out of thin air, they inflate currencies go to, like, keep being devalued. It's just robbing, it's a hidden tax, right? But nevertheless, they don't want people to know the Ponzi scheme. They don't want the people to lose faith in the system. So they cannot take any risks of something happening. I mean, they've been hiding the truth about the Ponzi scheme and for years and years and years, and they just can't have their systems go down, man. They do need the interledger protocol and the Byzantine fault tolerance consensus. They're not going to play with anything else. And Quant explains that again. Gilbert Verdine explained these is national critical infrastructure. It's from Gilbert Verdine of Quant that I actually learned that these systems were critical national infrastructure, because he used to be the head of cybersecurity for the Bank of England. He worked for the Federal Reserve. I mean, the UK Treasury. I mean, if you've listened to me before, man, I always say Gilbert's the GOAT. Gilbert's the GOAT. So those are my thoughts on that, brother. Those are my thoughts on that.
Well, we love the perspective. Love to share this research with you. Do us a solid if you listen to the entire outline and type in these 3 key letters, and that is CNI, as in critical national infrastructure. And we'll know that you listened to the entire outline. On behalf of myself and Jesse of Apex Crypto Consulting NFA, his channel on YouTube. Yep, go subscribe to him. You'll be so glad that you did. We thank you for tuning in. Know what you have, know why you hold it. As the saying goes, the research trumps FUD 110%. We'll see you on the next video.
You guys.